Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be saying this chapter. So let's begin with the chapter which names as Joan of Arc's biography or something like Joan of Arc's whole life history, how she struggled a lot in capturing, just like we had Independence Day, we fought with British to capture India, like to get our India returned. So just like that, how Joan of Arc acted as a savior of French. So like that. So before starting with the chapter, we have a small introduction box, which is the pink box. So we'll read that first.
Joan of Arc, 1412 to 1431, was born in obscurity to a peasant family. He travelled to uncrowned Dauphin of France, advising him to reclaim his French throne and defeat the English. Joan of Arc was sent alongside the French troops to the siege of Orleans and rose to prominence when Versailles was lifted after 9 days. She was later captured and burnt at the sake of heresy. Although pro-English clergy had Joan burned at the sake of heresy in 1431, she was rehabilitated in 1456 after a post-homicide trial. Subsequently, she became the folk saint among French Catholics and soldiers. So this is what the pink box talks about as a pre-introduction to Joan's life. Then we have a proper introduction here in this para. So let's begin with the main story, which is being
The main
story starts somewhat like this: martyr, saint, and military leader. Joan of Arc, acting under divine guidance, led the French army to victory over the English during the 100 Years of War. Joan of Arc, nicknamed the Maid of Orleans, was born in 1412 in Domremy, Bar, France. A national heroine of France, at the age of 18, she led the French army to victory over the English at Orleans. Captured a year later, Joan was burned at the sake of as a heretic by the English and their French collaborators. She was canonized as a Roman Catholic saint more than 500 years later on May 16, 1922. So while reading this small para, what we notice is that Joan of Arc was as in like a single, like this is a girl, the picture saying that she's a girl. So she has such a good skills that she was a martyr, she was a saint, she was a military leader. So she was such a courageous person that she led the army to the English to defeat them. Now the story starts. At the time of Joan of Arc's birth, France was embroiled in a long-running war with English known as the 100 Years of War. The dispute began over who would be the heir to the French throne by the early 15th century. Northern France was a lawless frontier of the Madurating armies. Joan was born in 1412 in Domremy, France, the daughter of poor tenant farmers, Jacques d'Arc and his wife Elizabeth, also known as Romy. Joan learned petty and from her mother. Never venturing far from home, Joan took great care of animals and became quite skilled as a seamstress. In 1415, King Henry V of England invaded northern France. After delivering a shattering defeat to the French forces, England gained the support of the Burgundians in France. In 1420, Treaty of Troyes granted the French throne to Henry V as a regent for the insane King Charles VI. Henry would then inherit the throne after Charles' death. However, in 1422, both Henry and Charles died within a couple of months, leaving Henry's infant son as the king of both realms. The French supporters of Charles' son, the future Charles VII, sensed an opportunity to return the crown to the French monarch. Around this time, Joan of Arc began to have mystical visions, encouraging her to lead a pious life. Over time, they became more vivid with the presence of Saint Michael and Saint Catherine, designating her as a savior of France and encouraging her to seek an audience with Charles, who had assumed the title of Dauphin, heir to the throne, and asked his permission to expel the English and install him as the rightful king in May 1428. Joan's vision instructed her to go to Vaucouleurs and contact Robert de Baudricourt, the garrison commander and supporter of Charles. At first, Baudricourt was not refused to Joan's request, but after seeing that she was gaining the approval of the villagers, in 1429 he relented and gave her a horse and an escort of several soldiers. Joan cropped her hair and dressed in men's clothes for her 11 days journey across the enemy territory to Chillon, the site of Charles' court. So guys, this was all about the story of Joan of Arc, which I didn't actually explain it. It is a quite vast story, but I'll explain it in the next 3 videos, explaining the 3 separate paragraphs. So I think that the explaining part will be quite interesting, as you will be getting to know several things which are like out of your mind, and there is a thing which is quite interesting in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed the story, and till then, take care and bye bye.